YouTube, what is going on? DA Comics back with another video. Welcome to Comic Pickups number 30. If you missed the last video I uploaded on the channel, rebranding around the boxes to be Comic Pickups, specifically to focus on my new comic book pickups. So if you're new here, this is going to be my YouTube series where I show you guys the comic books that I pick up on a weekly basis. These are all of the books that I've picked up this past week. So we're going to go through these. For the new ones, we're going to talk about the story and my thoughts on them, and then kind of just go through some of the back issues that I picked up and added to the collection. I'm noticing that my microphone is a bit quiet, but I'll be able to adjust that later, so that's not a huge problem. Alright, anyway, diving right into these books. We got some new books first. Got a couple books that came out this week that I went ahead and picked up. First book is Amazing Spider-Man 9, Legacy number 903. And all I can say about this book is it was complete garbage. So that's that. No, I'll get a little bit more of my thoughts. Random X-Men tie-in that came completely out of nowhere and made no sense in the context of the overall series. Absolutely random inclusion of Mary Jane, more Mary Jane Peter bull crap. I am not enjoying this series at all. Which is probably, I mean, we've been through some bad eras of Spider-Man. You know, I was there for the Dan Slott run, and there were definitely some bad times. In my opinion, for as long as I've been picking up Amazing Spider-Man, this is the worst era of Spider-Man comics that I've been reading. For the first time, pretty much ever, I'm not looking forward to new issues. For as long as I've been picking up new comic books, Amazing Spider-Man has always been the series that I would always look forward to the next issue. But now, it's like I'm looking forward to other comics, and then I see that there's a Spider-Man issue. I'm like, oh, cool, Spider-Man, yeah, whatever. I actually dread it now because I just know that it's going to be more not good things. So hopefully there's a course correction soon. I mean, obviously they're still early in the run, so they haven't had a whole lot of time to adjust to feedback they've been getting. But hopefully with all of the criticism they've been getting, they can correct course and do something better with it, because it's just garbage right now. It's just not good. But moving on to some comic books that are good, we have Wonder Woman 791. This is my first new Wonder Woman issue. Since I started getting back into DC Comics, I wanted to start picking up Wonder Woman again. And it was in the middle of a storyline, so I waited for this issue. This is the beginning of a new storyline, Feral Part 1. So I was waiting for this issue to come out, and it was pretty good. It didn't blow my mind. It wasn't anything crazy. I want to pull it out here real quick because I wanted to show you some of the art. I really like the art. It's kind of this like colorful pastel look. Like some of this art is just really cool. So really appreciated that art. And then the story, following it. Obviously there's a little bit of like whatever happened before this that I'm obviously missing, some context, but it is the beginning of a new story arc, and I'm relatively able to follow what's going on. So it wasn't too confusing for me. I'm definitely going to pick up the next issue, but I'm sure it'll be a few issues before I really get into the rhythm of it and understand what's going on. We're also getting close to issue 800, so that'll be cool coming up in the next 6 months or so, Wonder Woman 800, so looking forward to that. Actually, it'll be more than 6 months. Next year. I think this is a monthly book, so yeah, so looking forward to that. Good stuff. Next book, we have Midnight Suns, issue number 1. No legacy number, which is interesting. Has there been a Midnight Suns series before? I don't know. But the main reason I picked this up, I don't really care for most of these characters. I've never really been a big Wolverine fan, never really cared about Blade. I don't even know these two in the back. And then Magic, she's cool, but I don't know a whole lot about her. The main reason I picked up this book is because of this character right here, Spirit Rider. What's her name? It starts with a K. It's in here, so I'm going to find her name right now. Kashala? Kashala. I freaking love her character. She is awesome. She's a Native American Ghost Rider Sorcerer Supreme. Just so cool. It's like a crossover between the worlds of Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider, and then add in the Native American heritage. And I think the comic book that I picked up last year, Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider, was actually written by a Native American writer, or Indigenous Peoples of America writer, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it just had that extra spirit to it, and I think it's just really, really cool. I think it's... I love the Native American culture, and I live in a very early America place. I live in Williamsburg, and obviously it's very sad because, you know, the people who came to America kind of ruined that, but I have a definite appreciation for Native American culture. I think it's very fascinating, and I think... yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to say the right thing, but it's hard to talk about something like that because it's just such a messed up situation. But so I'm happy to see that representation in a character in the Marvel Universe, and especially one so badass. So that's the main reason I'm picking up this book, is to see more of her character. I would love for her to get her own series. If they did a Spirit Rider comic, that would be so freaking cool. But as far as this book itself, it was okay. It wasn't crazy. I didn't love it. But it was a little bit more lighthearted than I thought it would be. I mean, Midnight Suns, I always imagined was a very dark and kind of gritty Marvel team. And it was a little bit sillier than I thought it would be, which is okay. What I will say, hopefully this is an ongoing series now, and it won't just be like 5-6 issues. What I would really love to see is a Midnight Suns team featuring Wolverine, Spirit Rider, Magic Blade, get Venom in there, I think would be really cool. Who else would be cool on that team? I don't know. There's a lot of cool things you could do with this book. I think Midnight Suns as a concept is a really cool idea. It's like the darker side of Marvel, the sorcerers and the Spirits of Vengeance and all of that. So, yeah, cool book. Looking forward to issue 2. Hopefully that will be a little bit better. We're having Dr. Doom in that one, so that'll be really cool. Looking forward to that. But anyway, last new book I picked up, we have Venom number 10. This is Legacy 210. Now, as you guys know, I have not been a huge fan of this run of Venom. And I will say that this issue is a little bit better. Now, it's not, it was down here. Like, here's how I would put it, alright? So, Batman One Bad Day, the Batman series that's been coming out, Detective Comics that's been coming out, what other series have been really good? What else am I picking up? Whatever. Those comics are all up here, right? Venom has been, like, right here. The Amazing Spider-Man run is down here, but Venom is, like, right here. This issue was, like, right here. It's not, like, next level good, but it was better. Now, spoilers ahead for this book and for the series. If you are reading it or planning to read it and you don't want spoilers, just skip ahead a little bit. But basically, this issue had the revelation that all of these different symbiotes that Eddie has met in the Garden of Time, or whatever it's called, are all different versions of him. Now, I did enjoy that twist because that is a very Christopher Nolan, like, kind of mind-bending, time-twisting plot twist, which I really enjoy that kind of story. I wish the execution was a little bit better. I wish the art was a little bit better. I still really don't like the artist, and he has done every single issue, and it's looking like he's going to be doing every issue, so I'm really just wishing they would get a different artist on this. But that twist was okay. That twist was enjoyable. It really reminded me of, I don't know if anyone watching has read it, but there was a book that came out a couple years ago called 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. And that book kind of had a similar concept where it was a murder mystery, but the main character was reliving the same day as a different character. But it was all happening at the same time, so he would interact with his future self, he would interact with his past self as different people. And that's kind of what this reminded me of, because it's like the same thing where it's like he's already experienced this scene, but now he's experiencing it from a different person's point of view. That definitely was a very similar experience to that book. And if you haven't read that book, it was really good. I highly recommend it, but completely unrelated. But yeah, I did not dislike this issue as much as I have the other issues. I think part of the problem with this run is it's just been so hard to follow that I kind of want to go back and reread it now that I have the first 10 issues, because waiting a month between, I think, made me kind of lose track of what was going on a lot of the time. So I kind of want to go back and reread from issue 1 just to really grasp everything that's going on. I don't know. There is a chance for redemption here. I think this run really can turn into something good. I just think it was such a difference from the last run. I think the last run really dived into the, Null and the hive mind of the symbiotes and King in Black and all of that. And then this run just really dived into, like, multi-dimensional time travel and, like, all this confusing stuff. I just don't think it's really what we expected. I think we kind of expected just like a street level, gritty Dylan Brock Venom, with Eddie being this like omniscient kind of guy in the chair. That's kind of what I was expecting going into it, but that's not what we've gotten. And it's just because they're dealing with time and multiple points in time, it just feels like the story's been all over the place. It's hard to keep track of like, where is Dylan? What's going on with him? Because I've seen him in the past and present and future and all over the place. But it's good. Obviously, I love Venom, so I'm gonna keep picking up the series. This is one of the books on here that is just, no matter how bad it is, I'm going to pick up every issue. I feel the same about Amazing Spider-Man. As much as I'm hating this current run, I'm going to pick up every single issue, because just as a collector and as a Spider-Man fan, I need to own every issue. The same goes for Venom. As much as I haven't been loving this run, I'm not going to drop it, because it's Venom, and I'm going to pick up every single issue. One series that I did drop, I dropped a couple books recently. I dropped Daredevil, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I just didn't really care about it enough. And since I've been picking up so many new series, like so many DC books, I started getting Wonder Woman and Batman, and I'm going to be getting Superman soon. Like, all of that stuff, it was starting to get too expensive, so I was like, I'm going to drop a couple series that I don't care about as much. So, Daredevil I dropped. I'm thinking about maybe one of the Captain America series, specifically the Sam Wilson one. It's been good. But I can't say that I'm like excited about the next issue, and that was kind of my bar for picking up a book, was I need to be excited about every issue. So that might be on the chopping block, but we'll see. I might give it one more issue and see if that changes things. But those are all the new books I picked up this week, so just those 4. I'm really excited for next week. We have Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face coming out. And I'm so excited for that, because as you guys know, I loved the Riddler one. So I'm very excited for that. So we'll have lots to talk about next week. But we're not even done with this week, because I got a whole bunch of back issues here that I got to show you guys. As you can see, there is one CGC book. So there's some good stuff here. So this first book I picked up is kind of a random one. I saw this when I was browsing eBay, and I just thought it was cool, so I wanted to pick it up. It is The Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye, number 3, guest starring Spider-Man. I've never collected Transformers comics, but when I saw that there was a Transformers comic with Spider-Man in it, I knew I had to pick it up. I did like Transformers growing up. I liked the Transformers movies, I had the toys, all of that. So seeing that there was a Spider-Man crossover, I thought that would just be a fun little book to pick up. It was only a couple of bucks. So I'll just throw it in my miscellaneous and it'll be there. But just a cool book. I don't know. I thought it was fun. So I'm happy to have picked it up. Move these around here. Next up, we got another Ghost Rider book. It is Ghost Rider Volume 1, number 63. Picked this one up because I really love the cover. I love the skull in the background. You got what looks like the Penance Stare kind of glowing out. And then Ghost Rider riding his motorcycle, flying across the screen. Very, very cool. Next, we have a new series that I am picking up. I have another one on the way in the mail. I don't know when it's coming. It should be here for the next episode, but this is Howard the Duck, issue number 22. This is the part 1 of a 2-part Star Wars parody. It says, "May the farce be with you." I love Howard the Duck. I think he's a hilarious character. I've often said that I don't like Deadpool because Howard the Duck did it first. Just kind of the goofy, fourth wall breaking type of character. I just think Howard the Duck's really funny, so I wanted to start picking up some Howard the Duck back issues because there's not a whole lot of them, so it would be pretty easy to get a complete run. So I have a few actually Howard the Duck books on the way in the mail. But this is the first one I got today at the comic store. We got Swamp Thing there, or not Swamp Thing, Man Thing. I get them mixed up between Marvel and DC, but Man Thing, Swamp Thing, whatever he is there. Some other goofy characters. Pretty fun book. Gonna be starting to fill that collection out a little bit more. Next up, we have an Avengers book, and man, oh man, I picked this book up because the cover is just beautiful. Avengers number 353. Look at that cover. You got the Black Knight being held by a zombie knight. I love the way the sword is crossing over the Avengers title, and then it's raining, and it says, "Die, die, 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 die." Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. Absolutely love that book. I've been wanting to get more 90s Marvel back issues. I really like the Black Knight as a character. I think he's really cool, and especially with him coming up in the MCU, that is just a gorgeous cover. So as soon as I saw that, I knew I had to have that. And I want to get some more Avengers back issues, so that'll kind of get me started. But wow. Love that. Love that. Next up, the far majority of the rest of the books are all of one series. If you saw last week's Around the Boxes, I have started picking up some Silver Surfer back issues, and these are a bunch of Silver Surfer back issues. Got these for like $2 to $4 a pop, so definitely not expensive, but super fun and super exciting. Really love them, and I'm happy to keep picking these up. So first one I have is Silver Surfer. These are all volume 3, the late 80s, early 90s run. This is issue number 9. Awesome Galactus cover. You can see he's right there in the center, surrounded by these like balls of energy with faces in them. I don't know a whole lot about the story of this run, but it's a very cool book. And then I have Silver Surfer number 22. This is Ego, the Living Planet cover. Obviously, Ego appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. At least an adaptation of Ego. But that's an awesome cover with Silver Surfer getting kind of sucked into him. Then we got Silver Surfer number 51. An Infinity Gauntlet crossover with Galactus in the background. Very, very cool cover. Silver Surfer number 54. Another Infinity Gauntlet crossover with the Rhino. Obviously, Spider-Man villain, so you know as soon as I saw the Rhino, I had to pick that book up. The Rage of the Rhino. It's an interesting matchup, Silver Surfer versus Rhino. But a very cool cover nonetheless. This next book is easily my favorite cover out of any of these. It is Silver Surfer number 56, another Infinity Gauntlet crossover. And specifically this one is When Nightmares Come True. And I guess it's supposed to be like Silver Surfer's worst nightmare. It's Thanos sitting on his throne with what I can only assume is Silver Surfer's wife, late wife, I think. And Silver Surfer's on this chain leash, like a like a weird like bondage leash down on his knees, and Mr. Steal Your Girl Thanos sitting on his throne. I just think that cover is hilarious. I don't know why, but it's just funny having this like barely clothed silver lady sitting on his lap, and he's just like Big Daddy Thanos. So I thought that was funny. Cool book to pick up. Put that one in my large because I think that cover is really funny, and I do really like the purple and the stars in the back. It is really nice art. But next we have Silver Surfer number 58. Once again, an Infinity Gauntlet crossover. This is featuring the Defenders. Specifically, the cover has Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Namor on it. So an interesting group of characters there. I really like Doctor Strange. I want to start picking up some more Doctor Strange comics. I'm going to be looking into that soon. I think he's a really cool character. I think his comics, similar to Silver Surfer, one of the reasons I like these books is just I really like this like pocket of the Marvel Universe, the cosmic and the cosmic Marvel Universe in the 90s I think is really cool. And I think Doctor Strange is another similar, like the magic side of the Marvel Universe is also really cool. So I'm probably going to start picking up some Doctor Strange books as well. But that was a cool crossover there. Next, we have Silver Surfer number 65, The Flaming Return of Captain Reptile. Basically a dragon. Obviously, I looked inside the book. He's not quite a dragon, but on the cover here, he looks like a proper dragon. And I just love that. It's like fantasy / sci-fi. Really fun kind of blend of the two genres. So wanted to pick that one up. I thought that was really cool. And the last Silver Surfer book that I picked up is issue number 86. This is Blood and Thunder Part 2. Versus the Mighty Thor for the life of Beta Ray Bill. So obviously, Silver Surfer versus Thor. Awesome matchup. Love both those characters. Thor is one of my favorite heroes in the Marvel Universe. And then we have Beta Ray Bill laying down here. Also really like his character. So that was another awesome book that I wanted to pick up. I would really love to get... There was a Silver Age Silver Surfer book with him versus Thor on the cover. But that is a very expensive book. So... maybe one day, but not today. I will be picking that up. But yeah, adding to the Silver Surfer collection. Gonna keep picking those up. Like I said, right now I'm kind of just in this phase where I'm picking up cheap but cool back issues. So like 90s era back issues where I can get them for $2-3. And they're really cool art, really cool comics. Those are kind of where I am right now. And the last book for my pickups today... we have a CGC book, which I got on eBay. Relatively cheap. Wasn't anything crazy. I just thought it would be cool. Basically, when I'm getting a CGC book, I'm looking for either a key issue, a signed book, or just a book that I think would look good on the wall. Because CGC books I like to display on the wall. So I like to get a book that will just look really cool and be a part of the display. That's kind of what this book is. It's not a key issue. It's not a signed book. It's just a book that I think would look good on the wall. And that is Ghost Rider Volume 2, issue number 31. Now, this is CGC graded at 8.5. Like I said, no key issue. Just says gatefold, centerfold, polybag removed. And this is Rise of the Midnight Suns. This was the storyline they did, I think, starting in Ghost Rider 28. The beginning of the Midnight Suns. I'm noticing that it's spelled with an O here, but nowadays it's spelled with a U. I'm not sure when that changed, but it's a very nice cover. You got Ghost Rider there, chained up and wounded. It's part 6 of 6, so maybe one day I'll have all 6 parts. They're not that expensive, but I know 28's a pretty popular one. But yeah, I wanted to add, my wall CGC collection. I've got Venom, I've got Thor, I've got Spider-Man, Carnage, Green Goblin, all of that. I've been into Ghost Rider a lot the last few weeks. I wanted to add a Ghost Rider book to really flesh out that display. Maybe next up is a Silver Surfer book. I would love to get a CGC'd Silver Surfer book, but for right now, just wanted to add some Ghost Rider. So, awesome pickup. I don't remember how much I paid for this book. I know it was not a lot. Definitely didn't drop anything crazy for this book, but just a small amount. and got a nice book to add to the wall. I need to get more hooks, more shelves, because these are all I have, and I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but probably redoing that corner pretty soon because I need to hang this one up and I need to hang my Walking Dead one back up. But yeah, that's my pickups this week. Got a good chunk of books. There's a good chance next week. Well, next week should be about the same amount of books because I have a few books coming in the mail. Got a lot of new books next week. So yeah, next Wednesday we'll have comic pickups number 31. Specifically looking forward to that Batman One Bad Day Two-Face book. Like I said, I have more Howard the Duck books on the way. I have another Marvel series that I am starting to pick up back issues of again. Have some issues from that on the way. So definitely don't want to miss that. So if you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing these pretty much every single week, showing you guys new comic books that I pick up, both new and old. And then other comic book related content on the channel as well. We have a podcast, Webheads Comic Club, where we're reading through every Spider-Man issue, all that good stuff. Consider subscribing and checking out that content if it sounds interesting to you. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. That's a really good way for me to gauge what you guys enjoy and what you guys don't enjoy. At the end of the day, I'm going to really do what I enjoy, but I do like to hear the feedback and kind of get that in the comments and in the likes. So that's going to do it for me here. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.